Hey, Proto Martyr, literally my favorite post-punk band right now, is coming to Hong Kong and performing tonight, and I can't see them. Damn it. What's up? And today I'm gonna do a review of the very new Ghost album, Prequelle, or however you pronounce it. So, Linköping legends Ghost are back. They are a Swedish heavy metal band that are also satanic, but I have explained it in my last review of their Memoria album. They're satanic, but not exactly, not really, so you can watch that review. But they are also very fresh, a very new, a very vivid and lively rock band who won a Grammy Award, a friggin' Grammy Award, which is an award that usually awards crappy mainstream artists. Usually, but not in this case, not in Ghost's case. So yeah, Ghost is back. The frontman is Tobias Forge, or Tobias Forge, and he is Papa Emeritus in the last album. But on this album, his character had changed from Papa Emeritus 3, or was it a 4 last time? I think it was a 3 last time. And then this time it's Cardinal Copia, aka Cardi C. That's how I like to call him. And we also have the nameless ghouls who wear masks on their face to disguise their true identities. And there's one really, I guess, tragic thing that happened to Ghost after they have released their best album up till now, Memoria, and is that around 2016, 2017, the members of Ghost had sued the frontman Tobias Forge for money issues and participation issues, and that has caused kind of a reformation in the band, and that's why before going into this album, I thought that there will be a huge change in creative styles for Ghost's music. And to be honest, there is a change, but not as big as I have expected. But still, I don't expect this album Prequelle to live up to Memoria, which is an amazing heavy metal album. It's blasphemous, full of occult themes, it's very vivid and elegant and punchy at the same time, and very devilish, sinister, manipulative, and overall it's a very nice thematic album. And on this album, again, I didn't expect much, but to be honest, it's not that bad. Although it's not as aggressive or as sinister as Memoria, nor is it as versatile or tense in general. It's still a very beautiful, solid, epic, ambitious, grand album. And this album takes on a more different approach with its progressive, heavy pop metal sound. That's why it's a little lighter and it's a little bit more tolerating for the ears. I don't know which one's the right word, so I'll just say all two versions of it. Anyway, still, if you go into Ghost, a heavy metal album, don't expect harsh, aggressive, loud, noisy sounds, because Ghost goes against extremity with all these beautiful and elegant melodies and tunes. So on this album, they are still presenting that very nicely. And on this album, they have fused different genres of old school heavy metal and black metal with grand and ambitious prog rock that has a Pink Floyd flavor to it, and with also a little bit pop music even, which is a kind of a smart move, to be honest. And the album starts off with an intro, Ashes, which is basically a bunch of kids singing I don't know the name. Is it Ring Around the Rosie or something like that? Anyway, the album actually starts off on the second track with Rats, which is actually the lead-up single to this album. And to be honest, I love it. I love it the first time I heard it. This wretched mischief is now coursing through your souls. Never to let go. Never to let go. Yes, maybe it's not as tense as Square Hammer, but it's still a very solid leading up single. It's very energetic. I love the bright, ambitious choruses with Cardinal Copia singing rats. And I also love the shimmering keyboards, the orgasmic guitars that brings a religious vibe. And there's an epic guitar solo towards the end of the track that I really, really dig. So overall, it's a really fun and catchy religious quote unquote epic album opener, I guess. And then we have Faith. Usually the second track of the album is very grand and very hard hitting and heavy. And yes, Faith indeed is another super heavy Ghost song. Like in terms of Ghost, it's heavy, kinda heavy. Although it's not as powerful or as memorable as From the Pinnacle to the Pits. Yeah, that's From the Pinnacle to the Pit. And but still, it flows really well. It really supports the flow of the album in general, in the full picture. And I love the descending galactic guitars before the choruses. And I also love the demonic bridges. There are lyrics such as I am all eyes and I am all ears, and it adds onto the creepiness of the track as well. And overall, it's a really well composed track, not gonna lie. I don't hate it, but I actually kind of like it. And I was gonna say I don't hate it and I don't love it that much, but come to think of it, I actually quite like it. It's not super great, but it's actually not bad. And then the third track is See the Light, which has some thumping, steady 4/4 beat at the background. And in the forefront, we have this sad, melancholic tune, and the lyrics also feel secretly personal. On one of the lines, Cardinal Copia said there were many rats that he had befriended. And now listening to this track with the context of what happened to Ghost, it may have some relation to what previously happened, but it may also be referring to something else. But anyway, there is a meaning under. And the chorus, still, it's pretty religious and pretty creepy. Drink me, eat me, and you'll see the light. And also, the term rats, it may refer to a lot of things. One of them might be snitches, bad friends, and another of them may be referring to the Black Death, the famous plague that killed a majority of Europe, basically. And I also love the heavy guitars and the soaring pianos in this track. It really makes this track sound super epic. And then we have Miasma, which I didn't like at first. I find it really boring at first, but it really grew on me, and now I actually like it. It's this exhilarating, epic, moody, prog metal instrumental piece, and I really like the synth solo. The sax solo at the end is also a very creative choice. And I'm kind of satisfied. And then we also have Dance Macabre, which I really don't like at first because it sounds like a lovesick pop metal tune, hair metal cheap song. It sounds really lame at first, but it really grew on me again. And when I look deeper into the lyrics and listen more closer to the guitars, it's actually not bad. It's not like great or anything, but it's still not bad. I like how demonic and grim the song actually is. Just wanna be with you in the moonlight. Although the guitar riff kind of sounds like Smoke on the Water ripoff, it still kind of sounds like that. But nonetheless, I like the kick drums and the riffs. They are rough. I also love the organs decoration. It really made the track more creepy. And I also like the late 80s, early 90s rock vibe to this track. And the chorus, like, it sounds like be with you, like be with you, but actually it's literally bewitch you. The next track is Pro Memoria, which is kind of, I guess, technically released in a ghost video. It's more like a story video where a person was treating like the dead bodies of like all the previous Papa Emeritus. I mean, just go and check out Ghost's other YouTube videos as well. Anyway, Pro Memoria. I love the lovely strings intro. It has this melancholic gothic feel to it, and it also feels movie soundtrack-esque. And I also like the it's kind of funny, to be honest, now when I'm thinking of it. And the chorus, although it may sound a little hideous to people, but I'm actually okay with the chorus. Don't you forget about dying. Don't you forget about your friend death. Don't you forget that you will die. It's similar to the track Absolution. Every day since you're born, you've been dying. It's really manipulative and kind of funny. And I like the subtle humor in all the deaths and destruction, I suppose. Yeah, the lyrics, they are really creepy. You know, like Lucifer whispering to your ear. And overall, it's a really beautiful song. It's really well composed, and I dig it. And then we have Witch Image, which is instantly a highlight of the album. Man, like at first, like even though I didn't like this album at first, I really liked this song at first. It's a really catchy cathedral metal tune that has a folk twist to it. Yeah, a folk twist. It's really special. And this song is like sung from the perspective of the Grim Reaper to make things a little spookier. The lyrics are again very grim and dark, and also kind of funny in a way. While you sleep in earthly delight, someone's flesh is rotting tonight. I'm always waiting in the shallows between me and the deep blue sea. You never want me to appear. You never want it to be over. Shining moment on the album, indeed. The next track is another instrumental track. Not again. Helvetesfönster. I don't know how do you pronounce this. Helvetesfönster. It's a little unnecessary. It feels like a filler track, to be honest. It's kind of similar to Miasma, but it's easier on the ears, sleepier, moodier, more boring, a little blander. Yeah, it's just, there's nothing to say about this track. Not really. The album ends off with Life Eternal, which I didn't quite dig at first. It feels kind of forgettable at first, but it's actually a really nice ending to the album. It feels like a very spooky but sad cliffhanger to an album. Can you hear me say your name forever? Can you see me longing for you forever? And yes, indeed, it is a very sad metal tune. And I love the wailing pianos, and Tobias's clean, angelic vocals also work really well on this track. And overall, it is a pretty damn solid album. The flow of the album is incredibly great. The album cover is, again, really over the top and larger than life, but kind of cool. The album title is cool. The song titles are actually really quality. Like Ashes, you get Ashes, what's the next track? Rats, and then Faith, See the Light, like all these words and stuff. The song titles are really cool, I have to say. Real creative and thematic and conceptual as well. However, this album is not really a concept album, but still really cohesive album, not gonna lie. And the production is quality as well. And it's a little sweeter and poppier of a Ghost album, which will be hard for some Ghost fans who like Ghost abrasive and rough, but fans who genuinely like Ghost's tender side will really dig this album. And although this album feels a little staler than Memoria maybe, and also some tracks on their first two albums, and although it is not as fun, as sneaky and slick as some previous material that Ghost had put out, still, I really enjoy this solid album. It's really well composed. The instrumentals are really creative and ambitious and grand. This album is just full of larger-than-life, feel-good metal jams. That's really good to just sit down and enjoy. And yeah, it's a good album. I'm loving the late 80s, early 90s vibe. I'm loving the prog folk metal vibe. The worst is Helvetesfönster, and the best is Rats. I love the tongue roll thing. It's a cool feature to Cardinalcopia. And I'm giving Ghost's Prequelle an 8 out of 10. This album went from a 6 to an 8. For the first listen, I really didn't enjoy it that much. But wow, it grows on you, man. It grows on you. If you don't enjoy this album, give it a few more listens. So, have you listened to Ghost's Prequelle from 1 to 10? How much did you rate it? Like if you like it, and subscribe if you want more. And I will do reviews of Daytona, Yay, and Kids See Ghost ASAP. Yeah, speaking of ASAP, I'm also doing a review of ASAP, like tomorrow, so yeah.